Trump's threatening to invade Greenland just after he invaded Venezuela, or as he calls it,
Venezuela's.
What's next? Is he going to go into Africa and go after Namibia, or as he calls it,
Nambia.
or maybe Tanzania, which he calls,
Tanzania.
or maybe even Azerbaijan, or as he calls it,
Azerbaijan.
After that, he can go for the Middle East, maybe the United Arab Emirates, or as he calls it.
The United Arab Emirates.
It's not every country. Trump will probably let Saudi Arabia and Russia remain independent, or as he puts it,
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
He should remember we've got plenty of resources here at home in places like Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, or as he calls them,
Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi.
all of which are right here in the United States, or as he calls it,
The United States.
If you accept Americans, no, we don't really accept them. No, not at all.
It's all about Trump. That's a big problem. We don't know what he's going to do tomorrow, maybe. So.
Are you afraid?
Of course, every minute. Yeah, every day. Every morning you wake up. What did he now decide to do? What will we hear from him now?
What do you think about J.D. Vance's visit to Greenland?
I don't know how to say it. I think it's a bit intimidating because in this time we want to protect our land.
Outside, a lone protester, worrying about the sighting of US bombers that could carry nuclear munitions.
Tell the British people that we are an island just like you, and we don't want a war in our small nations like ours.
The last time I was this high, I was trying to decide on my major. And here's the thing, I haven't really done anything differently. So it's odd. Even my aides can't explain the rising poll numbers. What has changed? Nobody can figure it out. Republican establishment is incredulous that he's their most likely nominee. Incredulous, shocking. They say Donald lacks the foreign policy experience to be president. But in fairness, he has spent years meeting with leaders from around the world. Miss Sweden, Miss Argentina, Miss Azerbaijan. Key staff are now starting to... I believe that peace is unstable where citizens are denied the right to speak freely or worship as they please, choose their own leaders, or assemble without fear. Pent-up grievances fester. So even as we respect the unique culture and traditions of different countries, America will always be a voice for those aspirations that are universal. Furthermore, America, in fact, no nation, can insist that others follow the rules of the road if we refuse to follow them ourselves. For when we don't, our actions appear arbitrary and undercut the legitimacy of future interventions, no matter how justified. And this becomes particularly important when the purpose of military action extends beyond self-defense or defense of one nation against an aggressor. I believe that force can be justified on humanitarian grounds. In a world in which threats are more diffuse and missions more complex, America cannot act alone. America alone cannot secure the peace.
If you win the presidency by claiming you're going to deport drug dealers and then you pardon a notorious drug dealer, you better have a damn good explanation. So let's listen to the president and hear him out.
You pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez and let him out of prison, even though he was convicted in a massive international drug trafficking scheme. How is that zero tolerance on drug trafficking?
Well, I don't know him, and I know very little about him, other than people said it was like a Obama-Biden type setup, where he was set up. He was the president of the country. The country deals in drugs like probably you could say that about every country.
I'm sorry, probably you could say that about every country? No president vacillates more between parent and teenager than Donald Trump. Like 1 minute he's all, we have to stop the scourge of drugs from coming into the country. And the next he's like, everyone's doing it, Mom! Also, is that explanation supposed to make us feel better, saying you don't know the guy you pardoned? Were your MAGA followers supposed to use that line when they were arguing with family at Thanksgiving? He pardoned a drug kingpin, Uncle Rick. Whoa, 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 okay, relax, it's not his fault. He didn't know the guy. He just signs whatever they give him. He thought he was pardoning Kid Rock for turning the American flag into a slanket.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm not feeling so great. We have a woman, Renee Good, was murdered in our streets of America today, and we got literally stormtroopers running around terrorizing. And as much as I love all this, I don't know if I can pretend like this crazy stuff isn't happening. We have a president who says the laws of the world don't apply to him, and we could rely on his morality, but he has no morality.
Lots of people are hurting right now, and that's the problem, is that the people are hurting.
Yeah. And people can't pay their rent. This isn't making us any safer. They can't pay their rent. They can't buy food. Insurance is impossible. They can't take care of their families and health. There's no education. I mean, this is not making America better. If it was, I'd be, yeah, great, let's do it. But that's not what's happening. And we have Americans being shot, killed, a woman in her car.
So I'm going to ask you this, because everybody, we're talking about the problems. What do you think we can do? What are the solutions?
Listen, I think most Americans want the same thing. They want a little sun on their face. They want to know that their kids are going to be okay. They want to know their kids are going to be safe. They want to be able to pay their rent. They want to be able to know they're going to send their kids to a good education. But right now, the whole Senate, the whole Congress has been taken over by corporations. So who's there fighting for us now? Nobody. But if somebody did, they got us at each other's throats. The billionaires got us at each other's throats, right? We're out there killing each other. You know what the solution is? Is doing something for the working people, putting all your focus on that.
What is Hollywood anyway? It's just a bunch of people from other places. I was born and raised and educated in the public schools of New Jersey. Viola was born in a sharecropper's cabin in South Carolina, came up in Central Falls, Rhode Island. Sarah Paulson was born in Florida, raised by a single mom in Brooklyn. Sarah Jessica Parker was one of 7 or 8 kids from Ohio. Amy Adams was born in Vicenza, Veneto, Italy. And Natalie Portman was born in Jerusalem. Where are their birth certificates? And the beautiful Ruth Nega was born in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, raised in Ireland, I do believe. And she's here nominated for playing a small town girl from Virginia. Ryan Gosling, like all the nicest people, is Canadian.
Donald Trump is dumber than a 5th grader. Donald Trump says that there's a drug that right now costs $130. He won't say what it is because it probably doesn't exist. And he's gonna get the price of that drug down to $20. And he says, do your own math, that's like 2,000, 3,000% drop. You know and I know, but Donald Trump and probably MAGA doesn't know basic 5th grade math. That's not how percentages work. So you take a drug that costs $130 and magically it probably won't happen. You get it down to 20. What does that mean in terms of percentages? 20 divided by 130 times 100 is 15. 100 minus 15, I shouldn't have to do this, is 85. We reduced this mythical drug by 85%, not 2,000. Do you want to have a president that's dumber than a 5th grader? I didn't think so. So some of you, not me, might say, well, let's bring on the other guy, J.D. Vance. He's smarter than Donald Trump. No, When do you learn basic subtraction? First, second grade? J.D. Vance yesterday said that 99% of Republicans are not anti-Semitic. If that's the case, how come this guy who wants to bake me and my family like cookies, my parents were Holocaust survivors, how come he can wander around the GOP's America Fest yesterday with people just smiling at him, wanting to take pictures with him? And here are the numbers from a conservative institute, the Manhattan Institute. 12% of the GOP are not only anti-Semitic, but they openly say anti-Semitic things. And then 15% openly say racist things. If you subtract 12 from 100, you don't get 99. J.D. Vance, I don't know if he can do percentages. He can't even do basic subtraction. But the bottom line is that we have a president dumber than a fifth grader. We have a VP dumber than a second grader. Yeah, for that and other reasons, we're in trouble.
But we're going down to 20. So we're going down, if you can do your own math, but it's 2,000%, 3,000%.
You can do your own math. Thanks, Donald.
That would be a NATO country, the United... Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I didn't say it.
force?
No, you're telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
So what are the options?
Your network doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland's very important.
Questioned you. Mr. President, sir, we are so deeply sorry to have questioned your singular and delicate genius. It's just that this is a kind of an adjustment for us, because we've all been raised in the American system of government. So just have to give us some time to adjust to this new world of total compliance so we can understand the rules, because, you know, it's confusing. Like, for instance, we all watched the footage of January 6th, but I think we may have gotten a very different interpretation of it rather than the correct interpretation of it, which of course is yours. So help me out here. We'll play a game. On January 6th, a bunch of...
They were peaceful people. These were great people.
Went to the Capitol.
Peacefully protesting a stolen election. I have never seen such spirit and such passion and such love.
But while they were there...
Capitol Hill police officers instigated the violence that day.
So the people we saw earlier beating the shit out of police officers were hardworking, loving people provoked by law enforcement. And ultimately, they deserve a...
full pardon.
Got it. Don't agree that's what actually happened or what should have happened afterwards, but at least it sets a precedent. But now let's jump ahead, I don't know, a day, to January 7th. We've all seen that footage. I think I know what I saw that day too, but let's go through it again with the correct interpretation. On January 7th, a
highly disrespectful,
deranged lunatic woman,
professional ICE agitator, domestic terrorist,
did what?
This woman used her car as a weapon
and tried to run over an ICE agent.
An attempted murder.
And so she was
shot and killed.
So while very little of the descriptions that you were saying matched what we all saw on the tape, the important lesson here is what?
She brought it upon herself.
We are in a confusing, dark place. And this is where, quite frankly, rule of law and institutions are kind of an important framework. But now that those are gone, what's our North Star?
Do you see any checks on your power on the world stage? Is there anything that could stop you if you wanted to?
Yeah, there's one thing, my own morality, my own mind.
So nothing. But thank you, I'm no longer confused.
This is one of those moments that would be unbelievable if it were not on video. Donald Trump is sitting down for what is supposed to be a high-stakes White House meeting, with nearly 24 oil executives, Chevron, Exxon, ConocoPhillips. It's about Venezuela, billions of dollars, control of oil exports, a volatile country that the United States just carried out a military operation in. And suddenly Trump just gets up and walks away. He stops mid-thought, turns around, walks to the door behind him, and stares through the windows in the door. Imagine if Joe Biden ever did something like this. Take a look.
Well, I gotta look at this myself. Wow. What a view. This is the door to the ballroom.
And look at the faces of the people that work for Trump. Uncomfortable smiles. I believe that's Susie Wiles on the right, looking straight down at one point in disbelief at what Trump is doing. Marco Rubio sitting there like, what is daddy up to? I don't understand this. Trump gets up, not because anything important is going on. There's no urgent situation. He's looking at dirt. He's looking at rubble and construction equipment. And the camera catches the whole thing. The executive seated at the table, J.D. Vance is sitting there, Marco Rubio sitting there. Trump is gazing out like he forgot why he was even in the room to begin with. Now, apparently Trump had just started talking about his personal ballroom project, which he's obsessed with, but it may or may not be going anywhere. And he says, I gotta look at it myself. It's a meeting during which he was supposed to be convincing oil executives to pour at least $100 billion into Venezuela, a country whose oil infrastructure is collapsing and where many American oil companies have been burned before. And Trump has now destabilized the country and he wants their help rebuilding it, and they don't seem that keen on it. And Trump just gets up and kind of just walks away and looks out the window. That's the context and the backdrop for this video.
And Dev Patel was born in Kenya, raised in London, and is here playing an Indian raised in Tasmania. So Hollywood is crawling with outsiders and foreigners. And if we kick them all out, you'll have nothing to watch but football and mixed martial arts, which are not the arts. They gave me 3 seconds to say this, so. An actor's only job is to enter the lives of people who are different from us and let you feel what that feels like. And there were many, many, many powerful performances this year that did exactly that. Breathtaking, compassionate work. But there was one performance this year that stunned me. It sank its hooks in my heart. Not because it was good. There was nothing good about it. But it was effective and it did its job. It made its intended audience laugh and show their teeth. It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it, and I still can't get it out of my head because it wasn't in a movie. It was real life. And this instinct to humiliate, when it's modeled by someone in the public platform, by someone powerful, it filters down into everybody's life because it kind of gives permission for other people to do the same thing. Disrespect invites disrespect. Violence incites violence. When the powerful use their position to bully others, we all lose. Okay, go up with that thing. Okay, this brings me to the press. We need the principled press to hold power to account, to call them on the carpet for every outrage. That's why our founders enshrined the press and its freedoms in our Constitution. So I only ask the famously well-heeled Hollywood foreign press, and all of us in our community to join me in supporting the Committee to Protect Journalists, because we're going to need them going forward, and they'll need us to safeguard the truth.
We're in the middle of a war with Venezuela that we illegally invaded. He's telling the world that international law doesn't matter to him. The only thing that matters to him is his own morality. But the guy is a convicted felon or convicted rapist. He's a pedophile. He's the worst human being. If we're relying on this guy's morality for the most powerful country in the world, then we're all in a lot of trouble. So this is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I love this country, and what I'm seeing here happening is not America. It's just not. And I'm proud to have a Golden Globe nomination, but also this is not normal anymore. And so I don't know how I could be quiet, and I'm feeling a little sick, so it's hard to BS. We're in the middle.
When President Trump came to office his second time around, he made a deal with President Bukele, where President Bukele agreed to imprison in CCOT, a notorious prison, people who were taken from the United States in violation of their due process rights. Less attention has been paid to what President Bukele got in exchange. What he got in exchange was that President Trump ordered federal prosecutors to drop charges that were pending against MS-13 people who were in United States custody, had been charged with crimes. They were in U.S. custody. They were awaiting trial in the United States. And instead of having them stand trial and have information come out at that trial about the collusion between MS-13 and President Bukele, President Trump sent them back to El Salvador. Isn't that right?
Yes, my understanding from reporting by New York Times and other outlets is that this is indeed what has been part of the deal. And certainly the lack of disclosure that the charged individuals would provide in cooperating with U.S. law enforcement authorities or in U.S. courts is, in my view, significant blow to countering organized crime groups and, crucially, to countering the political collusion that enables it in a fundamental way.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think it sends a very dangerous message to U.S. law enforcement that when they're in the middle of making a case against MS-13 gang members here in the United States, rather than take them to trial and get that testimony and evidence, they get sent back to El Salvador, where they're effectively silenced. That testimony doesn't come to light.
I kind of can't believe that I'm going to talk to you about the consequences of invading Greenland, but I am, because you have to take Trump seriously now. Nobody thought that we were going to be invading Venezuela or running their country a few months ago, and now we are. So he says he wants Greenland. He says he's keeping the military option on the table. So let's just talk about what that means. Here's what you need to know. It's sort of a basic thing. Greenland is a part of Denmark. Denmark is a NATO country, and the NATO treaty says that if any member is attacked, then all the other members have to come to their defense. So what you are essentially talking about here is the United States going to war with NATO. The United States going to war with Europe. You're talking about the US and France being at war with each other over Greenland. We can't sort of sugarcoat this. Like, that is what we're talking about here. Now, every NATO country would have to make a decision whether they were going to rush troops to Greenland. Who in the United States of America wants a war between the United States and Europe over Greenland? But Donald Trump, he just sees the world in terms of real estate, right? He's not trying to fix any of your problems. He just wants a ballroom. He wants a big land mass that he probably thinks is a lot bigger than it actually is because he looks at the wrong map projection. But you're talking about war between the United States and Europe. It's kind of insane that we have to explain this to him and to the American public. But understand that that's where we're at right now. The President of the United States entertaining an attempt to take Greenland by military force, which, by definition, might end up putting the United States in a shooting war with France.